Greetings everyone, my name is Zero, and welcome to one of my first actual attempts at making commentary content. I do hope you like it. So please do note that I don't have any kind of script that I'm going off of. I'm just sort of like speaking my thoughts about everything that's, going on with the situation that I'm talking about in today's video. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking about the situation with Sonic.EXE The Disaster, which is the game that you're seeing gameplay footage of on screen right now. So I'm just going to get all of the basics out of the way first. Essentially, Sonic.EXE The Disaster was a pretty popular Sonic.EXE game here on Roblox. It was very reminiscent of other, asymmetrical horror games, like, say, Dead by Daylight, or in more recent examples, games like Forsaken, or Pillar Chase 2, or whatever. Basically, yeah, the game is themed around Sonic.exe, and it's a very simple premise. You either pick a survivor and, survive against the evil Sonic's onslaught, or you play as Sonic himself and try to kill everyone. Yeah, it's very simple. Like I said, very reminiscent of games like Dead by Daylight. Now, Sonic.exe The Disaster actually got very, very popular around 2024, even getting more players than Sonic Speed Simulator, the Sonic Roblox game that is officially endorsed by Sega. However, later on, something rather unexpected happened. The game was taken down by Sega. Now, if you know Sega, at all, you know that they're typically chill with fan projects. Because unlike Nintendo, Sega actively endorses and encourages fan projects. As, if you've seen any of those memes where it's comparisons between how Nintendo handles fan games versus how Sega handles them, yeah, it's pretty much that. Now, in this video, I'm going to be explaining why I think the game is taken down. So, here's my theory. Obviously, Sonic.exe has existed for quite a long time. I think 2011 was when the original creepypasta was published, and then it was turned into a game by Mist Crimson in 2012. Now, the game was posted on GameJolt, where the download link still remains, hence why I made a video on it back in 2021, I think. Now, when it comes to things like creepy Sonic content, Sega understandably has cold feet regarding it. Similar to some other companies, they're afraid of Sonic's innocent and family-friendly image being tarnished because of these scary stories. However, Sega is basically cool with fan projects on GameJolt, since GameJolt is mostly used by teenagers and adults, people who understand that Sonic.exe does not represent the brand itself and is instead just a funny creepypasta iteration of him. However, The Disaster was hosted on Roblox, a game that is actively targeted towards children. And because a lot of Roblox has a very, very young player base, some kids are going to think that, Sonic.exe represents the Sonic brand itself rather than just being a different iteration of him. Because of games like this, they'll think that Sonic is a horror franchise centered around some really sick and twisted hedgehog who just enjoys killing his friends for fun. And also, like I mentioned earlier, The Disaster had more active players than Sonic Speed Simulator, which is a game literally officially endorsed by Sega themselves. On top of that, Sega is known for being generally okay with fan games as long as you don't try to make money off of them, since, well, trying to make money off of an IP that someone else made is, illegal. Now, you might be wondering, well, how does this all tie back to The Disaster? Well, here's how. The game actually had a donation board at some point, which allowed people to donate to Outlake, which is the developer of the game, and have him make money off of it. Yeah, do you see the issue now? So, because Sega was scared about kids potentially thinking that Sonic.exe would, trick a lot of kids into thinking that it represents the Sonic brand itself, and on top of the game having a donation board which allowed Outlake, who's the developer of the game, to make money off of it, Sega decided to take it down. Now, making money off of a game related to Sonic is not something that Outlake has never done before, as in the old build of Sonic.exe Roleplay, which is another one of his games, the character of Shadow was locked behind a Game Pass, and, you see the issue with that. Now, after Sega took down Sonic.EXE the disaster, it was met with a lot of backlash from people in the community, and on top of that, it led to Outlake being very frustrated with Sega, deciding to private all of his Sonic.EXE related games, and even just straight up quit Roblox altogether. Now, that last part does seem like a bit much to me considering the situation, but I can't even imagine how frustrated Outlake is. I mean, he spent years building this game and building up this loyal fanbase only for it to just be Thanos snapped out of existence. But admittedly, some of the responses that some people have been having to the situation are really not the best. Now, I know what some of you are probably going to say in the comments. Well, you're just licking Sega's boot. You're just a boot-licking porpo rat. You're just so worth. First off, not only am I not licking the boots of Sega, but also I typically don't intend to trust big companies. I mean, have you seen what Nintendo's been doing? Or heck, even Disney for that matter? No, in this video I am not licking the boots of Sega. I am simply offering my theory on why I think the game was taken down, because, you know, Sega is not known for taking down fan games. Now, imagine you're a company like, I don't know, Capcom or something, and a kid discovers Mega Man because of a horror fan game on Roblox where Mega Man just kills Dr. Light and the gang for fun. Honestly, if I was Keiji Inafune, I would be pretty concerned because, you know, kids would probably be tricked into thinking that that murderous Mega Man represents the Mega Man brand as a whole and isn't just some twisted creepypasta iteration of Mega Man. So honestly, I think Sega's approach to this situation was pretty understandable. Yes, I know not everybody is going to agree with me on that, so I'm ready for any angry comments that you guys have to throw at me. I'm just sharing up my opinion and my theory. Now, because Outlake privated all of his Sonic Roblox games for whatever reason following this situation, I have seen a lot of revival efforts to try and preserve his games, like a couple remakes of games like Sonic.EXE Roleplay, for example. If you're a member of the Sonic.EXE The Disaster community, and you're upset that the game was taken down, I am not here to tell you that you're wrong to be upset. If anything, you are completely reasonable for being upset, as, you know, any person would be. With that being said, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.